Yeah. Ha. Sticking it to Canadians, eh? Yeah. Oh. Sticking it to Canadians, eh? Yeah. Hey. My name is Andre Minkov. I'm the founder of Trademark Factory. I'm a shitty rapper, but I know a thing or two about intellectual property. And in this video, I'm going to share my thoughts about yet another trademarking screw up. This time around, it's Drake fighting with Canada over the government logo. All right, let me read it from the article, and you can find the link in the description below. Rapper seeking trademark to symbol in the US after landing partnership with Canopy Growth, but his home country claims it has the copyright. All right, Drake wants to trademark the Canadian warning label for weed in the US, but he may be in for a fight with his native country. That's the logo. Through his Dream Crew company, Drake is seeking a trademark application for a red stop sign displaying a cannabis leaf and the letters THC, according to a document filed with the US Patent and Trademarks Office. Tetrahydrocannabinol, commonly referred to as the THC, is a psychoactive component in cannabis. That image is the same one that Health Canada, the federal agency that oversees the cannabis industry, requires as a warning label on all recreational cannabis products that contain THC. The image included with a trademark filing appears to be an exact replica. Drake intends to use the image for apparel, including suits, shoes, and hats, according to the filing. The trademark is designated in Canada for pharmaceutical products that are classified as herbs for smoking. The document says, the trademark application also indicates, to the best of the signatory's knowledge, nobody else has the right to use the mark in commerce, either in identical form or in such near resemblance as to be likely, when used on or in connection with the goods and services on such other persons, to cause confusion or mistake or to deceive. In a statement provided to MarketWatch late Friday, Health Canada asserted its own rights over the image. The standardized cannabis symbol is protected by the Crown copyright and intended to be used for public health and safety purposes only, and not for private commercial means, Eric Morrison, Chief of Media Relations for Health Canada, wrote in an email. It can be an infringement of Crown copyright to reproduce the symbol for commercial purposes without permission to do so from the copyright owner. Drake, whose real name is Aubrey Graham, is one of the most successful rappers in the world, with 7 platinum albums and more than 70 platinum singles, according to the Recording Industry Association of America. He is closely associated with his home country of Canada, the first industrialized nation to legalize recreational marijuana, after first receiving notoriety as an actor on the Canadian television series Degrassi: The Next Generation. Canadian cannabis company Canopy Growth Corp announced earlier this week that it's launching a cannabis wellness company with Drake, and Dream Crew has filed several other trademarks in the US related to cannabis and that partnership. The new company will be called More Life Growth Co. and will be based in Toronto. Financial details were not immediately available, and Canopy said it would release further details in the next several weeks. All right, you can finish reading the article yourself. A couple of comments. There's big difference between copyright and trademarks, and with logos, images used as logos, there's a big overlap. Really, it's the only time trademarks and copyright overlap, because copyright does not protect individual words or names. It doesn't protect catchphrases or slogans. The only time the same thing can be protected by both copyright and trademarks is in case of logos. And And that's exactly what we're seeing here. So from the trademarking perspective, there is no infringement if all he's doing is selling apparel in the US. Then there is nothing from the trademarking perspective that Canada can do to stop that, because it's different products, different services, unrelated products or services. It's different jurisdiction, and that would be the end of the inquiry if this stopped at the trademark analysis, trademark infringement analysis. But because it's not just trademarks, and that's exactly why Canada is asserting the copyright, saying, hey, we got you this time, because you might get away with a trademark, but it's our copyright, and by infringing copyright, you're not telling the truth to U.S. Trademarks Office, because your logo is based on underlying work of copyright that you do not own. So here's the difference between trademarks and copyright. Copyright protects content. It protects the image for what it is, just the image itself. It doesn't matter what it's being used for. It doesn't matter what goods and services it covers. It's protected for the actual image itself, the expression of the idea behind it. Trademarks, they're protecting the image that may not be protectable by copyright. For example, something very, very ordinary, like, I don't know, just a triangle or a circle with a specific color. That's not a work of copyright, because work of copyright requires some originality. So sometimes there's no protection by copyright, but there's still protection by trademark, because the protection is not granted to the actual image. It's granted to the use of that image in connection with specific products and services for which you register the trademark. And again, copyright protects just the image itself. Trademarks protect the use of that image in connection with specific products and services, and sometimes there's an overlap, like in this case. So what Canada is saying, busted. And when I say crown copyright, because in theory Canada is still under Queen, and the government copyright is called crown copyright. So everything that the government does, if it results in creation of work of copyright, of work of intellectual property, assuming, of course, that they got the proper employment agreements with designers or contracts with designers, whereby the Crown ends up owning the resulting work. That's called Crown copyright, and I really hope that they didn't mess that up, that they've got proper paperwork to show the chain of title, because even with copyright, the original author is always the person who creates the work, but the original owner of copyright could be the employer, and if the designer did this work being employed by the government, then it's originally the Crown copyright. Or if it wasn't, they would have to do a transfer called assignment, whereby the government would still own the copyright in that image. But again, they will be up to the government to show that. But assuming they can do it, then Drake is in trouble, because even though there is no trademark infringement here, different products, different services, and different countries, the other thing about copyright that's very different is that copyright is protected automatically worldwide, or almost worldwide, through the Berne Convention, which means that you don't need any formalities, you don't need any registration, you don't need to do anything. All you have to do is have created the work that's minimally original, and that's it. And compare that to trademarks. You got to get them trademarked, you got to get them registered, and the protection is done on a per country basis, right? So with copyright, if you can prove copyright, that's so much easier because again, it's protected all around the world automatically. You don't need to do anything about it. So if they can show that some designer designed it for them and obviously it's the same image, that's copyright infringement right there. And if they can show that, then the USPTO would have to refuse it on the basis of the underlying work used in the logo not being owned by the trademark applicant. So that would put the end to that story. It will be curious to see if they settle, if they get a license, or if they're just going to say no, and that will be the end of the use of that logo as their trademark on apparel. We'll see how this goes, and if you found this video interesting, make sure you subscribe, get notified whenever the next video goes live. We post these videos every single day. If you like this video, please like it. If you got a question, comment below. And if you've got a brand that you want to protect, but don't come to us with stolen images, right? If you've developed your own brand that you want to protect, that you want to secure, that you want to claim as your own, go to trademarkfactory.com and book your call with one of our strategy advisors. All you do is just fill out a really short form and you can be talking to the strategy advisor in just a couple of hours. We make it really simple for you to get started. So book that time, get on that call, and get the process started. And until then, I will see you in the next video.